Lowered expectations.
Hello and welcome to the Lighthouse. This is going to be the Lowered Expectations Life Edition from the 15th of September until the 30th. I thought I would try something different. Let's see how it goes. I wanted to start using these astrology cards that I have. I mean, again, I still need to learn more about it. But I say, hey, why not put these cards to use so we can start to learn about it? You and me both. From whatever little meanings, of course, we get from the cards. But I thought it would be interesting to see, karmically and planetary wise over the next 2 weeks, kind of what's going on. And originally I just had these because, again, we can't have these 5-hour-long readings. I'm trying to be, but I'm also trying to switch it up a little here. So out of curiosity, I thought maybe I'd pull one card for each. I didn't shuffle them in a way where they can come upside down or right side up, but this one came up upside down on its own. So I left it, even though I probably will cover, what the possible reversals are. And I try to give because, again, we don't know. I didn't shuffle them and I wasn't even sure if I was going to keep it. I was just trying to see what would come out. And then I also picked these past life karma cards because, again, as history repeats itself, we're finding here, or many of us perhaps have been in this position before in past lives, whether we're talking about stuff that went down in the 40s, whether we're talking about some old ancient Egypt stuff or some old stuff in Greco-Roman or whatever it is here. So I thought I'd pull those and see what came out. And already I'm thinking of things without even looking at the book, right? Just kind of going off of how I think that this kind of relates to current events. Plus, then it saves time because we ain't trying to read each and every one and read all these and read all this. And, you know what I'm saying? So let us start with the overview for the next 2 weeks. We'll see how it goes. We have Here and Now. Makes me think of that Luther Vandross song. Here and Now. Isn't that a marriage song? Somebody's getting married. We're thinking about marriage. Again, this isn't supposed to be woo-woo, but I will, try to. This involves everything, life in general. This can involve our home lives, our financial lives, our, in society. It's kind of everything. So I'm going to try to throw a little everything in there. Well, let's see what Here and Now is. Essential meanings: being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. Look, that's all you can do, right? One day at a time. The Oracle's message: everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. So what are we doing here? And what's the purpose of the card, if not seeking information? How you gonna diss when you doing the same thing by making cards and you know what I'm saying? But perhaps I'm reading too much into it. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. Relationship message: it's easy to yearn for a love affair or friendship you may not have right now. One that is more romantic, more fun, more reliable, more passionate. The good old days are gone. Oof. Jeez. And a new day has dawned. Let your heart trust that you have everything you need right now. whether you have the relationship you desire or not. Tomorrow is beyond your reach. Yesterday cannot return. The now is all that is available to you. Stay present and aware that in this moment, as you cherish and approve of your beautiful self, you are a magnet for love. Spirit is madly in love with you right now. Did you know that? Willis. Turn to spirit. Feel the joy of love in the here and now. Prosperity message. What you are working on is golden, and your efforts will leave a powerful legacy. Focus not on meeting a goal in the far off future, but on creating your dream now, releasing your desire for an outcome and owning that it already exists. It will appear in the material world as if by magic, claiming your prosperity now. The essence, is more important than the form. When you are immersed in prosperous thoughts, you automatically tune into a sense of timelessness and unlimited potential. You can act as if, in spite of the temporary outer conditions. You are prosperous at this moment. What you think now becomes your reality. Stay present. Protection message. Whenever you find your mind drifting into the past, wondering if things could have or should have been better, or when you find yourself longing for the good old days, look, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are because of the crap that's going on. You leak power, right? If we do that, though, we got to be, I guess, present. The same is true of looking too far ahead and hoping the future will provide you with certainty. Driven by ambition, you might wander too long in a place with no substance and forget that you are here today. The past and future are illusions. Whenever you leave the present moment, you're disconnecting from your inherent power to manifest your reality with true substance. Neither past nor future can give you what you need. Now is all that counts. Come back from those eternities and be here now. All will be well, and miracles will appear as if by magic in the perfect timing of spirit. Right? So if I go back to this relationship part, you know, and we also have leaving and travel. I'm going to be jumping around here just so we know. Leaving and travel is one of the karma cards here, which again is something that is affected and has been affected for a lot of people in regards to freedoms to come and go, freedoms to see people that they're separated from, right? So that might be part of this of wanting to be with people that we can't be with right now, that might be at a distance, right? Due to certain restrictions that might be in place here. Um, and also for those who might be wanting a situation, just like in the lowered expectations relationship edition, we do have some people that are familiar with each other, are separated from each other, but want to be together, right? But, action needs to be taken, words need to be spoken, or if you're looking again for someone new, action needs to be taken, words need to be spoken. We can't be thinking about whatever if we're wanting to have new situations or heal old situations or just whoever it is that we want to be around, right? Taking those steps to kind of making those plans to make that happen or to allow for the space for that to happen by again letting go of anything that might be restricting us in any way, even our own again stinking thinking, right? Letting go of past hurts and what have you, working on oneself, putting in the efforts if there's already a target in mind, kind of a thing, and just allowing the universe to co-create with you, or again to free up the space to allow for new people to come in so the universe can bring new people, new situations, whatever it is in, right? And we talked also in the other readings about possible things that we're working on, projects we're working on, right? Making sure that because we have here also Three of Pentacles. So that's about collaborating. That's about admiring people's work. This is about coming together, sharing ideas in order to build something, right? Appreciating other people's inputs, cooperation, right? Which is the opposite of the Five of Wands, which is down here, which is about conflict, struggle, strife. It's petty stuff, right? One's working together, one's working against, right? But again, we're jumping around. But let me see if I can tie anything else in here. Again, it's what we're doing every day, steps that we're taking in our personal lives in regards to what's going to create long-term effects. Again, you got a lot of people out there fighting for freedom. You know, everybody's operating from different levels of awareness, and some people are completely oblivious as to what is really going on. And if you don't know, check out the Zero videos. You can access our sister channel on Rumble on the home page. There's links on the top, or in the Zero playlist. Any one of the Zero videos will take you to Rumble, and then you can see all the playlists there. I haven't uploaded a teaser or an advertisement on the tube here for the most recent ones, but if you go to Rumble, you'll see them there. And that goes more into, again, what's going on many levels. There's many rings to the circus, but we're in it for sure. And it's going to be continuing and getting worse. Always look to Australia. What's going on in Australia? That's like level 5. They've always been the example of, how bad it can get other places in regards to, ruling with an iron fist, or whatever the term is here, look, I try not to read between the lines, as they say. But yeah, obviously everything that we do today is going to also affect our tomorrows. We may not be advised to, dwell in the past or focus on the future and to be in the present, but we also have to learn from the past. And if we want a certain outcome in the future, again, whatever we're doing today, every day, is playing a role in how tomorrow is going to look, in next week, in 5 years from now, and what have you. Because again, the train is on the track. It's running down to each station. It's in full force. And I said, it'll probably get uglier once people really start waking up as to what's been going on for almost 2 years, what we're in, what we're headed towards, what it means for them, for humanity at large, with the fourth industrial revolution, with merging man with artificial intelligence. If you want to talk about look, I can't get into certain words here because, again, I always feel like somebody's watching me. You know what I'm saying? Because they are. They're always watching, and they're always listening. And they want to be able to do that even more. They want to be in your brain. But I digress. But anyway, let's get into and again, whatever we do today will affect our tomorrows. And tomorrow isn't promised to anybody. So if you got some shit you want to take care of, If you've got some goals and ideas or plans or whatever it is, we better be taking action in our daily life to make that manifest. Sitting on one's hands, waiting for something else to come along and save the day or make the decisions or whatever it is not a good idea. And be an investor in your own life, in your own future. Beware of who you associate with. Be mindful of groupthink. Be mindful of psychological warfare. Be mindful of coercion. Be mindful of all the things that I can't say on here. You know what I'm saying? We have the sun. Le soleil. Or sun is the most positive card that you can get, right? But of course, we don't know if this is reversed or whatever. But this is the overview. It speaks about optimism, fulfillment, the dawn that follows the darkest night, the source of life, the happiness of our inner spirit when in tune with our truest self. And our truest self is a free self, not an oppressed self. You know what I'm saying? Right? And usually in the traditional card, you've got the little boy and the horse. He's naked. It means he's got nothing to hide. It's innocence. It's like childlike wonderment. It's purity. It's the strength of spirit, right? It's the conscious and the subconscious. It's the action and the vibration, right? It's life. It's fruitfulness of the spirit. Be fruitful and multiply. Listen, there are agendas serving agendas serving agendas, and that is one of them. Again, control over how people continue on this planet and who's going to be in charge of that. Because again, the things that are going on now are an attempt to control that by manipulating certain things within the body so that people can't, you know what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm trying to say. And the younger that they get you, the less likely when you reach a certain age you'll be able to, you know what I'm saying? Look, like I said, most people have no idea what the hell is really going on. And let me tell you, it's nothing good. Nothing good. Right? It also speaks about success, happiness, joy, radiance, abundance. It gives you strength. It's about healing as well, right? What the world needs now is love, sweet love, and healing. Because it's hurting. Now, of course, in the reverse, we be talking about depression, health problems. Listen. Bad health. You know what I'm saying? People intentionally causing people to have bad health so that they can blame it on a certain thing. As Mr. Computer Guy said, oh, the next one will really get their attention because the next one's going to be real. And it's going to be because of a lot of these people who have gotten to you know what. Like I said, we're going to need to prepare ourselves for things that are coming and people that might be leaving this world because of, you know what I'm saying? So again, It's about autonomy. It's about maintaining that, maintaining one's right over their person, and how important that is, again, for themselves, for the future of the children, and for humanity. And again, you've got a lot of people out there fighting for that. So say a prayer for them, give thanks to them, especially if you can't be one of those people that are out there on the front lines, like really taking a stand. And honor that there's people out there that are fighting for your right and your children's right and your grandchildren's right to just be. But I digress. Finding it difficult to see positive aspects of a situation, again, if we're in the reverse. Setbacks that may damage one's enthusiasm and optimism, again. The dangling carrot, the give the freedoms and take them away. Again, this bullshit ass game, again, because it's all a shit show. It's all a show. Look, if I could pop off, believe me, I would. But we cannot. That's why I do it on the other channel in the form of documentaries. Again, feeling sad, depressed, left out. Again, a lot of divide and conquer things going on right now. A lot of people can't be, again, with their families. A lot of people choosing sides or choosing belief systems, again, because they're watching the talking heads on TV, feeding them whatever neurolinguistic programming shite that they want people to take within their being and absorb and believe and become the embodiment of, so that they go out and act according to, which is what, again, these news outlets are for. Again, controlling the minds of the masses, having you feel in fear, afraid of your own shadow, wearing 50 million masks, doing these kind of things, attacking your fellow man, because again, you believe the narrative. There's no question, there's no research, there's no, again, it's the conditioning, it's the dependent on conditioning that has been in play for thousands of years. Like I said, what's old is new. It happens repeatedly. But when you don't learn to, and they also rewrite history. They also look at what's happened over the past 2 years. Statues have been taken down. Language has been changed. Definitions of things. Again, this is what they do. And people 10 years from now, 15 years from now, won't even know about any of the other stuff. This is how they maintain the control and the illusion, because again, these aren't the droids you're looking for. The Jedi mind tricks that are used on people, and there's so much information coming in that you can't even keep up, and they keep you distracted with the bread and circuses, hoping you don't notice, but you need to, especially in regards to gematria. I created a new playlist there. I came across a video. I'm going to watch it myself. I haven't watched it yet, but it explains about it. But there's a guy that I watched, Gematria Effect News 22 on the tube. He's in my list of channels that I have on the homepage of some of the people that I watch. I advise people to check them out, whether it be prepping situations, prepper videos, or, you know, check them out. There's only a few of them, believe me. I've got like so many subscriptions I don't even see everybody. But keep on track of that stuff, because you don't want to have another bomb drop and you're not prepared. You know what I'm saying? Look how people acted over toilet paper. Look. But anyway, people could be feeling some kind of way, again, due to separation, due to things that are going on, due to uncertainty, due to the you know what, as we're starting to see, or we've been seeing, people that have had negative results. You know what I'm saying? Right? Direction or path is distorted. Obstacles can be removed, but will take more effort. Again, more people having a voice, more people standing up for their rights, these kind of things, right? It ain't going to be easy. Like I said, we've got until 2030 for these few things to wrap up. So it's a plan, and it says, and the train's already on the track and it's rolling. So how bad it gets, one can only guess. But um, not a good sense of our capabilities, right? Out of touch with who we are. Again, people don't know if they're coming or going. Not being honest with yourself, not being truthful to ourselves or others. Because again, rose-colored glasses, not wanting to admit, not wanting to see cognitive dissonance, whatever it is, or this is just again in our personal relationships. Maybe there's some people I know in the masculine and feminine things. Again, there's some secrets, there's some hidden things, there's some people needing to tell truths or accept truths or whatever it is. So fit that into whatever situation, right? Need for a reality check. And then we have the reality checks over there, which we will get into. But again, for some people, they need to wake the hell up and stop believing the narratives and stop believing the people that are feeding you bullshit. Because again, think of the snake in the Garden of Eden or any other deceptive character that you may have come across in your life. You know, they tell you what they're up to without telling you what they're up to. They give you the cues. They give you the same thing with dealing with narcissists. We got the narcissist card that it's in the reality check too that I'll get to. But this is kind of what people that don't understand that they're kind of in. They are in an abusive relationship, technically. As far as Big Brother goes, these, ruling people here, it's an abusive relationship where gaslighting, psychology is used as a weapon all day, every day, right? To control, to manipulate, to create belief systems, to create emotional reactions, to create division, to create freaking misery, plain and simple. Um, so we need to be aware. And again, the reality checks that we're needing to come into. Planet Narco. That's what I said. You're living on a planet that's run by sociopaths and narcissists and people that don't give a shit about the little man. Though they tell you that they do. Again, just like an abusive partner. They say that they love you while they're punching you in the face. They say that they love you while they're still draining your bank account. To feed you, they give you the dangling carrot. They're always changing the goalposts to keep you on the treadmill that goes nowhere. So eventually, the frog in boiling water realizes that shit. I think I was deceived. But by that point, thou knows what condition you'll be in. If you're the frog in boiling water, well, you'll be cooked. Narcissistic personality disorder, some other cluster B personality type, or someone embodying the traits of these disorders, the behavior patterns, may be playing a role here. So it's either you or them. Seeking out a professional is recommended to gain further insight and healing. So again, on personal levels, if we've dealt with narcissists, if on a personal level you were kind of engaging in these kind of behaviors. Again, there's a difference between a full-blown disorder and somebody who's just embodying the traits due to, again, wounding or just bad guidance, life, whatever it is, right? So, again, if it's you, apply it to yourself. Maybe there's things about you that you need to change. Maybe there's things about you that have been a little narcissistic or a little self-serving or a little egotistical, or maybe you've done some things to step on some people to get ahead. Or again, but this is the kind of society that they want. They want this narcissistic society because people that are self-absorbed and are about themselves, they don't care about anybody else. It's all about me, right? You've seen how people have been acting over the past 2 years. It's just it's horrendous. It's ugly, and it's straight up abusive. The way some people have treated other people on the streets. You've seen it. Harassing people in restaurants or on the street, people getting randomly attacked. Again, sociopathic societies, people that have no repercussions, getting no repercussions for their actions because it's intentional, because they want chaos, they want people acting out, being, you know, it's all for a reason. And it says protect your mind because they're after it, protect your soul because they're after it, protect your body because they're after it. And if you don't think so, then you're living in a la-la, which is why the reality check needs to come in that you're in an abusive relationship. And again, whether this is personal life stuff, a pattern that you've had, whether you've been the codependent, again, pacifying the monster, which can fall into other areas of life, including authority figures in the you know what. It's how you are showing up, whether it's personal relationship situations or to your life in general. What are you allowing? What are you putting up with? What are you tolerating? What kind of abusive situations are you partaking in that perhaps you're unaware of, or you know, you are aware of, but you're just kind of waiting for somebody else or something else to come in and fix things. This is where, again, they're telling people, no, it can't wait for someone, you know, to come on a magic horse to save the day. It's about people saving themselves. That whole waiting for a savior thing is another story to keep people from acting on their own accord, because you're always waiting for somebody else to fix things. And although it makes us feel better because it pacifies the inner child, which again, big brother, authority figures, all these people are replacements in the adult world for the parents in the child's world. It's the same kind of conditioning as far as how we react to authority figures, again, whether they be in the home or whatever. It's also formed, again, how we show up in our personal relationships. What did love look like to me as a child? Again, all of this stuff, I can go, you know, there are so many dots I can connect, but we have only but so much time. We have let that shit go. Holding on to feelings, thoughts, people, situations, mindsets, behavior patterns, etc., that only result in unhappiness, missed opportunities, stagnation, procrastination, and shadow aspects of the ego. Let it go. Right? However that applies for you, there you go. Some good shit is about to come your way. You're welcome, the universe. So again, if I'm going to apply this on a personal, like, you know, relationships and so forth, if we've realized our own wounding, if we've done our healing work, if we're focusing again every day on trying to better ourselves in whatever small way, big way that we can, you know, there's an opportunity or some dharma coming in from the universe, right? Especially if we've freed ourselves from narcissistic types, right? Freed ourselves from stinking thinking. Rewards are coming. Or if we do this, rewards will come, especially on a collective scale, right? Understanding the dynamics of the types of associations and relationships that we have, again, whether they be close or grand scale, all is part of the same, because it's how we are showing up and what we are allowing. And it's seeing shit for what it is. And again, and everything that we do today affects our tomorrows. So allow the sun to come in and shine a light on all the things that need to be healed and addressed and purified. And you know what I'm saying? Here again for the karma stuff, we had leaving a travel. I already spoke on this, how this can be affected. Or some people may be considering moving or where they want to live because they don't want to be left out, or they're feeling left out, or they're feeling separated from people, right? So there's people that are needing to address this so that we're not feeling out in the cold or leaving people out in the cold, or, you know, we're needing to get to or be at wherever we're needing to be. Because again, there's going to be more restrictions put in place. There's going to be, again, this is going to be an ongoing battle of the will, because this is, again, if you look at the astrology part of all this, as the Leo King guy said, he says, no, this is all part of the astrology too. Everything that's happening now, this is all, which is why it's happening now. Again, people got to understand how everything is connected, as above, so below, right? Then you have Asia, and then you have finances. Of course, this made me think of, again, them, you know, everything's intentional, everything's for a reason, for a bigger picture. And again, things that I can't really talk about here, but I cover in my other videos, right? The whole crypto thing that they're trying to implement. Again, people love to think that they would have a one up on the man, right? They think that they would be allowed to have their own money system. It's all everything is tested first to see how people will respond. Everything, people are under uh, they're lab rats. They don't even realize they're lab rats in so many ways. Again, and that crypto thing is part of that, because the end goal is to, again, have a cashless society. The end goal is to have them be able to monitor and control all forms of currency. And again, and if you, when we think about Asia, think of the social credit score thing that's going on, right? So if you don't be a good little whatever, you won't get your deposits. You won't be able to go and travel. You know what I'm saying? So again, look at what's happening in other areas of the world. See what's happening with the money stuff, because again, everything is intentional, because it's all to become, again, a one world and a one world and a one world. You know what I'm saying? How you worship, how you live, how you're controlled, all under one, if you know what I'm saying. But this is, again, people need to wake up. They'd never be allowed to have their own money separate from the thing. I mean, hello. But people like to live in la la and think that, oh, no. It's always part of the plan. It's always being tested on to see how people are about it. And then they sell it to you as being something cool and whatever. And then they get their celebrity endorsers to go in and tell you again what to think, how to feel, what's cool, what's not, what's, again, psyops all day, every day. Greco-Roman and male-female again. Greco-Roman, all roads lead to Rome. Jesuit order. Gematria, let me tell you. Gematria Effects News 22. Check them out. Get the lowdown on the world you live in and how your media is manipulated and who's behind things and the reason again why all of this stuff is going on. Right? Male and female, the attack on the masculine and feminine, the wanting to merge the two, the wanting to control. It's the Adam and the Eve. It's the controlling again humanity, how it goes on. It's altering the genetic makeup to create genetically modified everything so that we can own every. Look, I can't, I'm really trying to say without saying, but look, you know, like I said, there are many rings to this circus. Blocks and challenges, the well watcher, wisdom, power of the divine, and the phoenix. Oh, like my video, where I'm encouraging people to find their own inner strength, even though they may have gone through hardships, because humanity needs humanity right now. The wounded warriors, everybody. It needs each other and to stop being against each other and letting people divide people. Learn to recognize the game. Because again, if you don't know the enemy and the weapons that they use, you can't win the war. You shouldn't even be on the battlefield. As Bill Cooper said, the wisdom, knowledge is power. And they depend on people to be, again, focused on baloney to keep them distracted from what's really going on, so that when the hammer drops, they'll be like, oh, they'll be surprised because they've been so preoccupied with the left, right, and the whole theater, and it's just, look. I tell you. The well watcher. The well watcher signals the need to go within to contemplate the true source of power in the world, which he reminds you is that of the divine. This message is to let you know that you're being called to the well, and this unseen power will be there and will be yours to align with. This affirmation and prayer will invite the divine to bring miracles and resolution to your life. Thy will be done through me for the highest good of all and for the true manifestation of my purpose. You will know the way forward by the still small voice within. The divine also may answer your call by sending others to help guide you. This is where I again talked about finding like-minded people, destined and fated meetings and events, forming support systems, people that are meant to come together to do something at this time, getting on that path, right? This didn't come up in a challenge position, and I shuffled them, so I'm not going to read the challenge position, right? The Phoenix, because they came in the upright, so I'm going to honor the upright. Resurrection, surrender to change. The Phoenix appears as your ally to celebrate your journey and to assure your ultimate success. This is true even if it appears that you've just passed through a metamorphical experience of death or are currently enduring a perception of failure in your life. Death and rebirth are related when you enter the realm of the Phoenix. Seen in this light, nothing truly dies. but rather changes from one ending directly into new beginnings. The phoenix is constantly reinventing itself and rises up whole and new, even more powerful with every death it experiences. This could signal an end of a relationship or of a dynamic within one, or an end of a job, a project, or even a life. Perhaps no failure is involved, but it's time for a complete overhaul of your circumstances. You may be tired of what you're doing, or you may know intuitively that it's time to move on and try something new. Whatever the case, a death of the old and a celebration of a new life are called for. Whatever you do now will indeed be a successful endeavor, for rebirth is imminent. So for some, again, it's about stepping into your personal power. It's about reinventing yourself. It's about taking action, right? It's about being open to change. It's about helping to create change, again, in the world, in your own life, whatever it is, right? And if you're feeling like you've had enough, it's because it's not your natural state to be in. Being oppressed, being restricted, being controlled. That it says that authority figure, shite, is an illusion of conditioning, because no other human being has any authority over another human being, period, unless it is given, which is what frees the other person up from karma, just like in an abusive relationship. I didn't ask for this, I didn't whatever, but you stayed in it, you allowed it. So the lesson was yours to learn about how you are showing up and what you're allowing. We always want to do, well, if the other person would change, or if the whatever. It's like, it's you who needs to change in the situation. It's you who needs to say no more. It's you who needs to stand up for yourself, because again, if you give power and control over yourself to anybody else, it won't turn out well, whether that's personal life or world stage, because again, it's all an illusion. So a rebirth is needed. We're needing to apply wisdom here and make some changes. Hopefully we can speed through as much as we possibly can here. Now I asked, what can the collective expect over the next 2 weeks, right? And this one here, we have Mars in Sagittarius in the 11th house. So this is what we can expect. And you're supposed to read across SMP, spiritual, mental, physical, right? And you read across and it's supposed to give you like a little sentence or a little idea. So in the spiritual aspect, the drive for insights to understand freedom. There you go, right? That's the spiritual aspect. Again, learn to recognize shit from Shinola. Learn to recognize when boundaries are being trespassed against, again, just like in an abusive situation. Not giving up one's personal power. Caring enough about ourselves and those that we care about to act with integrity and to do the right thing for the right reasons and to stand up for the right things for the right reasons, because it will have long-term effects that will echo throughout time, right? Understand what freedom is, and how it is your right, and how it has no one else has the right to take it away from you. And again, if you allow it, they will, because that is, look, Doesn't matter. Personal life, world at large. It's the behavior of the other person and oneself, right? We get what we allow, basically. The mental here, the confronting, the wisdom of associations. Again, getting wise about what belief systems we take on, avoiding that groupthink stuff again, not following the masses because most of the masses are lost, right? They're lost. Most believe and take as truth without having any evidence that it is, simply because that's what they've been conditioned to do, just accept whatever is said, right? Understanding too the value of people in our personal lives. Who do we want to invest in? Who do we want to be with long term? How can we come together and collaborate? How can we build upon whatever it is we're trying to build upon, whether that be work related, whether that be, again, just alliances, that we're forming for whatever reason. And again, the wisdom that needs to come from, again, who we're associating with, right? And then the physical is action resulting from the understanding of your circle of friends. And again, making changes where need be in regards to who you're surrounding yourself with, again, who you're associating with, having some wisdom in that and being more careful in that, right? And I looked up here the Mars, and again, you had the Queen of Pentacles. Well, I'll get into these here, but let me get these. The Mars, the symbol of it is the cross of matter above the circle of spirit. It's about being goal-oriented. It's about material goals are emphasized over spiritual ones. So again, a lot of people are about, they're not about the spiritual. They're about the material, the earthly. Saturn, I think the devil card in more ways than one, right? The devil card deals with materialism, right? Acting in ways that can be narcissistic, abusive, right? Or being controlled by these types, right? Also, people more concerned again with money thing over what is right. These elite classes or these people that want to stay at the tip of the pyramid, all they care about is their power. They don't care about the souls of the little people. But they don't care, which is why they allow what they allow, which is why they create what they create. There's a method to the madness for them, right? The glyph or the symbol for the Mars symbolizes man, and also the Roman god of war, fiery, hot-headed, quick to act, willpower, energy possessed by our ego, or the sun. There's a sun card, right? So again, it's about the ego, which again, if your ego is all jacked up due to childhood wounding, again, you're showing up in a way that is not serving yourself in the best way, right? It's about going after things. It's about gain, accomplishment of what we want, asserting ourselves as individuals, again, avoiding that group think. This whole, it's one thing, yeah, you can be, think about your fellow man and all that, but we're moving into a socialist kind of thing where, again, the individual isn't important. It's all about the whatever. And they will use various tactics to try to drive that point home, to drive people against each other because they're not taking on that mindset. And again, and if you don't look at history, these kind of things usually don't work out well. As far as, are the people ever happy in these kinds of systems? No. Right? That's why you had the Asia there. Again, look what goes on in China. Growing strong through challenges, competition, debate, by being forced to confront the strengths of our desires and dedication. Again, standing up, having a strong constitution, knowing what's right, right? And fighting for that. Rules the head and face, also weapons. Keywords are masculine principle, assert, lead the way, strife, ignite, challenge, fight, debate, have courage, confront, take action, act alone, strengthen, initiate, agitate, compete, force, achieve, and survive. The message of Mars is accomplish your goals without any personal compromise. Again, no, don't suffer, right? No, don't compromise your morals, your values, your standards, your integrity for whatever narrative they're trying to sell. The warning is, if you use my energy for mindless, hostile aggression, you'll quickly find that you're not the only one with strong desires. So again, this power struggle that's going on right now, this Return of the Jedi thing that's going on right now, right? When you push, keep attacking an animal in a corner, eventually the animal fights back. And again, this is what I'm saying. We're on the verge of, there's a lot of people, like I said, we don't know how ugly it's going to get. That's why they're telling people, find your alliances, make sure what team you're batting for, because again, it's going to affect people in the long run. Who they align themselves with, right? And of course, we had the Queen of Pentacles that goes with that. Male, female, doesn't matter, but it speaks about, the investments that we make long term. It's about financial stability, right? It's about exercising good judgment. It's about loving support, balance of work and family. It's about generosity, investing in family and personal wealth. And again, if they take away your ability to be independent and having to be on the teat, it's going to affect one's ability to care for oneself, to reach certain levels of status, to provide, you know. Um, Realistic, simple solutions to problems, versatility, strives to create warm and secure environments. This is what we're hoping for, right? But we ain't going to have that if we're not around the right situations, right? It's about remaining balanced, being practical and realistic, and to try to come up with solutions for, again, of where you want to take that pentacle. What is that pentacle for you? What does it represent for you? It represents something important to this person here in the card, right? It's about it's about feeling secure, feeling safe, and not feeling like a friggin' orphan out in the cold. Then we have in Sagittarius here, right? Sagittarius speaks about the arrow, that's the symbol, right? That represents Chiron, the bow-wielding centaur, half man, half horse, the first doctor of herbal medicine, sage and tutor of Achilles. Associations are travel that broadens the mind, higher learning, widespread dissemination of knowledge, great outdoors, natural healing, religious philosophies, customs and laws, and all things foreign. Parts of the body are the thighs, which move us around. People born in Sag best function when they're learning and teaching. And then, of course, you had the Three of Pentacles that went with that. Learning, teaching, collaborating, throwing ideas off each other, How can we build this? Appreciating other people's input. Again, being open to information other people might have that you might not know about. That's going to affect you again in the 3D real world here. That's going to affect your health and your vitality and your money and your future and whatever it is, right? Alliances that we form. And for some, again, if we're talking about the whole travel thing and all that, it's about finding your tribe, finding your people, and getting together with them. Because again, the restrictions could be even more of a problem, right? Again, Three of Pentacles, acknowledging others' contributions, teaching, collaborating, being on the same page. Manifestation of a creative venture, a business project, inspiration beginning to manifest in the material world. Knowing that you have the skills and ability to succeed, it's encouragement to keep going. Dreams that can be made real with persistence, determination, and effort. Again, power to the people. It's about needing help. Again, and not being afraid to ask for it, not being afraid to accept it, not being afraid to give it. Knowledge, experience of others to bring new perspectives, feedback, planning, management, organization. Again, figuring shit out, how we can make it happen. 11th house, right? The 9th and 11th houses derive their meaning from the 10th house, what we aspire to. It also symbolizes authority figures, the authority of concepts and ideas that are proposed to you and the people with whom you identify. Again, finding your tribe. Example is your friends, people who appreciate you for who you are right now, right? Those who care about you. This is shared goals, like-minded, similar careers. Again, a lot of fated and destined things are supposed to happen as far as people meeting up, coming together. Some of it might have to do it again, some contribution that they're meant to give to the world at this time. Associations, clubs, unions, right? Independent viewpoints. Also speaks about people that usually are eccentrics or geniuses, usually artistic types. Creativity, the arts, spirit of invention, harnessed for the good of the group. So again, artistic endeavors that might bring change into the world, right? Whether that be through music or film, whatever it is, documenting what's happening now in the world, trying to, again, give humanity a voice through the arts. To be able to envision something that has never existed before, creative mutations, focusing 5th house imagination and dream of a future yet to be. Through our knowledge of what energies are at work inside us and inside the people who are members of the associations that we belong to. We're the company that we keep, right? We may best accomplish our goals, right? How can you best accomplish your goals? Again, coming together, collaborating. Whether this be life partnerships, again, friends, family, your tribe, whoever you're coming together to work with for whatever plans you may have or putting into place. 11th house is ruled by Venus in Aquarius, right? And then we had what actions should be taken here. We had Jupiter. We had Aries. And then we had the 1st house. And then, of course, you had the Emperor. Go with that. You had 5 of Wands. Go with the Aries. And you had the Queen of Swords. Go with the 1st house. Right? Jupiter The spiritual thing is learn or teach. In Aries, your willpower in the first house immediately. So this is about having willpower, teaching willpower, learning how to have willpower, self control, self governance, doing good by yourself by abstaining from certain things that are toxic, whether that be for you mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it is, right? It's about, again, learning to stand up in your truth and your will to be happy, to survive, to live free, right? Learning to embody that, helping others, encouraging others, teaching others how to embody that. Because, again, it's needed. Togetherness is needed, not separation, which is why they do everything that they can to separate people, to make them feel orphaned, alone, you know. It's, again, psychological spiritual warfare. This is what we're dealing with all day, every day, from cradle to grave. And it's been going on forever, not just in the past 2 years, but again, there's something playing out that's been in the works for a long time, and it has various stages. And again, if people don't see or know about what that is, they're gonna just be all in the emotional aspect and the confusion aspect and just following whatever they're told aspect, instead of, taking a step back, listening to other people, you know, figuring out, hey, this don't sound right, or this don't feel right, or whatever it is, listening to one's own intuition, listening to how your body feels when it feels oppressed, restricted, controlled. It's not natural. That's the higher self trying to tell you this ain't right, right? Emperor, what is this? Oh, I forgot to do Ace of Pentacles. My fault. With the 11th house, I forgot to do Ace of Pentacles, talking about our associations, right? This came in reverse. So this speaks about lost opportunities or lacking planning and foresight, financial opportunities that might fall through. It's about careful spending, limited success, or a need to realign our goals. Again, coming together with people, collaborating with people, you know, so that we can build these things that we want to build, whether that's, again, relationships, just friendships, groups, associations, whatever it is, business opportunities. We don't want to miss out because, again, we're not investing in the right people or things. We don't want to not, you know, lay out some kind of plan or whatever so that we can have better success. We don't want to just be, again, waiting to see what happens, or waiting for the savior, or waiting for somebody else to whatever. It's about you taking the lead, and whatever that is, whatever investment that pentacle is for you, right? It's about people that might be opportunistic or exploiting of others. Again, it's about corruption and greed, taking what's not earned. So again, this is if we're talking about power structures, what's happening, right? Blinded by obsession for money at the expense of other areas of our lives, and it warns of a risk or a need for planning in career and finances. So this is, again, if we want to talk about people that, have been more focused on money or financial stuff and not focused, again, on relationships, family, building that foundation, that's needing to be looked at, because this is all pentacles stuff that we have here. There's no cups. It's all wands, pentacles, swords, and the Emperor. So we did that one. The Jupiter, again, the spiritual was to learn to teach your willpower immediately, right? Jupiter deals with intellectual and emotional halves of the polarized, individualized soul, connected to, but above the cross of matter. That's the symbol. That's the picture that it's supposed to have, right? It symbolizes abundance, the sky hook that connects us to what we want, using the knowledge that we're going to get what we desire because we should have it. That's the soul knows that abundance is its birthright. That's what I talked about, how, it knows it's not supposed to be controlled, manipulated, contained. You're meant to be a free being. You're meant to be happy and to thrive, right? Because it's your birthright. And again, it's coming into that understanding and taking some control and not allowing ourselves to be dominated and controlled, right? Because it is our birthright to have abundance, to be happy, to be free, right? Tools used in growth and understanding, assembling the broad picture. Again, seeing the big picture. Most people aren't seeing the big picture. They're just, again, watching the talking heads on the TV, feeding them bullshit. Not seeing what the bigger picture of all this is, right? Or even in one's personal life, needing to see the bigger picture, what we want long term. Who should we be surrounding ourselves with? Who are we investing in? What projects or ideas are we collaborating with others on that might be needed at this time? Or just even, again, for your own stability. Because, again, they want to take that away from you, your ability to do that on your own, because they want you, again, it's about control. Keywords are expand, enlarge, increase, develop, achieve, integrate, encourage, prosper, jovial, positive outlook, luck, wealth, generosity, bounty, cornucopia, teaching broad perspectives, higher education, law and philosophy, religion, broadcasting. See, as I was talking about the talking heads, Jupiter also deals with illusions and stuff, right? Wasn't that Pisces, or Jupiter and Pisces, or something supposed to be dealing with illusions? Again, the illusions that come from the talking heads. Publishing and travel that exposes one to new ways of living and thinking. The message of Jupiter is purpose of life is to grow and expand and experience knowledge and understanding. It's true for everything in this and other worlds. The warning of Jupiter is know thyself and nothing in excess, including the excess of, again, people trying to control and manipulate and take things away, doing things in extreme, taking extreme measures, not allowing that. And the thing about know thyself, you better know something about yourself, because, again, you better believe the enemy knows all about you, and they want to know all about you. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the Emperor with that. This is going to be a long reading, probably an hour and a half. Bear with me. The Emperor, of course, again, speaks about the masculine principle, right? It's the patriarch, represents power and authority, again, stern attitudes. He's acquired years of wisdom and experience and is worthy of listening because he sees firsthand the consequences of his actions. So this is, again, someone who's been through the ringer, who's fought many battles, personal and maybe otherwise, just, has been on this planet a long time, has seen a lot of stuff, has been through a lot of stuff, and it's about applying that wisdom in regards to personal and large world event stage, how it affects his life, right? Again, how one is showing up and how we're allowing others to show up. And you had, and this represents Aries, and then you had Aries here as well. Represents intellectual heights. You know, the Ankh that's here is the symbol of life. The orb he holds in his hand is the world over which he rules. The orange and red colors symbolize his passion and energy for life and its challenges. Right? He's the protector. It's about guidance and wisdom, demonstrates authority and grounding, trying to be grounded, trying to find out where our stability is going to be. Again, who we can build with, who do we want to invest in. Maybe this is a wife that he wants, he's looking to collaborate with. You know, we don't want to miss opportunities if we're going to throw that in with the relationship stuff, right? Someone who's been there and done that and got the t-shirt. That's also order out of chaos, which is classic because that's their motto, right? That's what's on the back of the thing. That's the one world, if you know what I'm saying, which is why they're letting everything fall to shit, because it's order out of chaos. You know what I'm saying? It's about structure, stability, strategic thinker. Someone, again, being wise, being open to new avenues and information, figuring out some strategies, not living in illusions of Jupiter, seeing shit for what it is, and acting accordingly, right? Highly organized, rules, regulations, law and order, discipline. He's a leader. Of course, in the reverse, it would be domination and excessive control, rigidity and inflexibility, abuse of power, which is what we're dealing with here. Freeing oneself from controlling figures and standing up to them. Tired of being under the thumb. In regards to the self, it's about a lack of self-control or ambition or ability to deal with such an authority, and a need to gain control and structure. In regards to love, we're talking about overbearing and an abusive partner, which is exactly what, again, you're in a relationship with in regards to the authority figures, the pyramid structure. You know, it's an abusive relationship, as I mentioned before. And again, in Aries here, let's go the second line, because the spiritual, again, was learner, teacher, willpower immediately. The mental is be positive about what you need to think about and the way you project yourself. So this is, again, how you're presenting yourself to the world. This is what the first house is, right? And what you think you know about. Again, there's a lot of people think they woke, but they're still asleep. A lot of people think they know, but they have no idea. It's also about being careful of one's thoughts. You know, think higher of yourself. Try to stay in a higher mindset, because again, you got to see the big picture of things. You got to be careful about that stinking thinking or that tendency to fall into behavior patterns that won't serve you. Whether that's, you know, and that has to do with, again, giving up one's own personal power, self-sabotatory kind of things, right? This is about, again, this is all about the self and about who we align ourselves with and what we tolerate in the things that are trying to dominate and rule over and, again, affect one's health and well-being on many levels. And again, and it's abusive kind of a situation, as I'm tying all that in from what we've covered so far, right? Aries is the ram, right? Butting heads also speaks about associations, being the first, aggressive, acts of self-assertion, right? Like war and the angry planet Mars. So again, we have the Mars and the Aries connected again. Because again, astrologically, this must be some of the stuff that's playing out, right? Deals with metal weapons and tools and action, pure, honest, and without forethought. Part of the body that it deals with is the face and the head. Again, one's mind and how you see people. A lot of people's faces are covered, and that's also for a reason. Psyops all day, every day, like I said. People born in Aries function best when they act on their first impulse, right? And here you had the Five of Wands. Again, petty arguments, divide and conquer tactics. People, again, even arguments amongst people that they're around. Again, maybe that's why we need to find new associations. It's about, again, being conflicted about where we want to lay down our foundations, who we want to invest in, what to believe in, right? Divide and conquer tactics, left, right, whatever all this stuff is here, right? So it says, beware of the belief systems you take on that cause conflict and strife within oneself and with others, right? The way you project yourself. Again, we had the Queen of Swords here. So again, coming off cold and aloof or detached, or maybe this is what we need to be. We need to be open and receptive, but we need to also, nip shit in the bud, or, cut shit out that isn't on the up and up, because she's about fairness and truth and justice, right? She doesn't take any shit, because just like the Emperor, she's been through a lot. But she knows what's the right thing to do. She knows what's, for her highest and best. Her, him, whoever, society at large. This is what we need to embody. We need to be open and receptive to information, to possibly new collaborations, but we also need to have that sword just in case. We need to, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, and this five's also symbolizing change. Like we're in the transitional phase right now, right? It's about, again, problem solving, encourages enthusiastic approaches to change. And that can go along with, too, if we're talking about people that have been in hermit mode and in the tower and are conflicted on whether or not they want to, again, collaborate or build something with somebody or make an offer with somebody, wondering if things can work or how, whatever, wondering if someone's going to be open and receptive or if they're going to be, cutting you out of the picture. We can apply this all kinds of ways, right? This is, again, attention and confusion, but this is about clarity, right? This is about, again, asserting oneself and not letting abusive types or situations overtake. And again, first house deals with you, right? Your appearance, especially, again, your head and face, which is why, again, they got you wearing the masks. Because without that, you wouldn't have any clue anything was going on. Again, it's you got to see it. It's Pavlov's dog. Again, it's psychology all day, every day. You got to train people and the visuals and the auditory things daily. Plant, it's the brainwashing. That's why we need to be clear in our own thoughts and cut through bullshit. Because believe me, it's rampant. It's about your personality, first house, again. Your outlook on the world, your abilities and your actions. In astrology, every house is ruled by a planet, right? And a sign of the zodiac with which it shares its basic qualities. The first house is ruled by Mars and Aries. Again, with the Mars and Aries thing. Right? The seventh house is defined by the first house. So again, whatever is your sun sign, the opposite sign will be your seventh house, is usually your seventh house of partnerships. This is what we're talking about. We talk about marriages and partnerships and stuff. For me, it's Virgo. That's my opposite sign. So that's my sign, my partnerships, right? Um, for you, I don't know what you are. I'm a Pisces. So Pisces and Virgo are opposites. Gemini and Sagittarius are opposites. That's my mother and my son. Um, but again, each sign has their own, and that sign has qualities that you would need, and that sign has qualities the other person would need. So like it can make good partnerships if we're comparing first and seventh house kind of things as far as signs goes. Um, First house is you, with seventh house cusp is your opposite. Again, that's and it's about others. Again, your relationship to others. This can mean the public in general, business partners, committed lovers, or marriage partners. The signs and planets in your seventh house says a lot about how you experience others in general, and more specifically, how you experience the energies of the partnerships that might enter your life. Seventh house is ruled by Venus and Libra. Sometimes, again, it shows us hidden enemies, or I mean, open enemies, right? Again, associations, frenemies, things like this, right? So, and of course, again, like I said, Queen of Swords isn't easily isn't easily fooled. Emergence and growth through hardships, has clarity of mind, considers matters of intellect. The bird that's above her head here is the mind's ability to soar above day-to-day issues to arrive at an appropriate solution. It's about sternness of mature intellect, devoid of emotion. Again, getting out of the emotional and being logical. Be the observer. Look at what's going on and not have an emotional investment in so much of what's going on, because again, a lot of it is false, a lot of it is lies, a lot of it is deception, a lot of it is, again, propaganda to get you to feel like this, to get you against other people. So again, wants to knows the hows and whats to make sense of things, connecting through intellectual understanding, not emotional, unbiased judgments. Fact and logic, tells it like it is, upfront and honest and blunt. Perceptive, independent. Again, there's a thing about independence as well as interdependence, as well as overcoming conflict with others and within oneself. Again, it's about our stability, it's about our investments, it's about all these things. And then lastly here you got spring. This is earth. These are the water crystal oracles by that Japanese guy who froze water crystals with certain words, because and our bodies are made up of 90% water, which is why our emotional and mental state is always under attack, right? That's why you get polluted with stuff in the air and stuff in your food to keep it so that you can't think straight, or so that you're already compromised, right? So these water crystal things, sometimes if you have a picture of it, you put water on it if you're drinking water, and it can help embody some of the energy that's whatever the picture is symbolizing. Each one has something different. So this guy, he made all those cards here and in this water crystal oracle, based again on his book, Masaru Emoto, the author of Hidden Messages in Water. So again, we got spring for earth, we got healing, brain, kindness, and on the opposite of kindness, of course, is selfishness, right? Healing selfishness, we have the narcissism there, again, narcissistic, sociopathic, all about me, not caring for your fellow man, sometimes not even caring for the people that you got around you, not even caring for yourself. Emotional wisdom. knowing when to reel shit in, knowing how to control one's emotions. This is very brief here. This here. Let me. The cards of healing. Again, brain, kindness and selfishness. The Bohemian. Cards of power. Cards of wisdom. No matter what the language, the providence of nature itself does not change, so words which have the same meaning show similar forms. Again, watch out for neurolinguistic programming that play upon your emotions, that control your belief systems and your emotions and how you come out into the world or how you see the world, right? Watch out for language. Words are illusions, and it's used on the daily to manipulate. So I said, check out that gematria. And I think that was it. Oh, cards of here's a spring. Notice how water is part of a seasonal cycle and helps to bring the flowers forth. Feel love and appreciation for water and its life-giving qualities. Speaking of water, make sure you have water stocked up because you just never know what these people are going to do, right? And this is, again, about being aware of, again, that our bodies are made up of mostly water. Make sure you stay hydrated, right? Be careful, again, of just like with when they talk negatively to the plants or they talk positively to the plants, it affects how they grow. The same thing was with this water crystals. When you speak positive things, it creates these beautiful frozen things. When you speak negative things, it looks all funky. So again, when you're in stinking thinking and you're saying negative stuff about yourself, your body's made up of water, you're holding that energy. It can cause disease, it can cause all kinds of things, right? Because it's messing with the chemistry of the makeup. That's why it's so important to be grounded, to have some spiritual know-withal, to know thyself. Again, because the enemy knows you and it knows what to do to affect you mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And again, as far as personal relationships goes, whether it be romantic, whether it be family, whether it be friends, associates, business, whatever it is, it's getting out of one's head, getting out of anything that is negative, coming together with like-minded people, not missing out on opportunities to build something, to collaborate, to give something to the world if that is what you're meant to do at this time. Or to just be, again, a finding a support system. You know, what's important, who's important, these kinds of things. And we're at an hour and a half. Let's grab a few of these for the collective. Oh, and this was on the bottom of the deck, and I left it out. I forgot. Wisdom, love for humanity. So I said, oh, let me leave that here. Love for humanity. Creativity. See? Maybe there are projects or ideas. I mentioned a thing about the arts. Maybe you're meant to do something in the arts that is supposed to be important at this time for humanity. Right? Collaborating with others and to create something for that reason. Balance. Again, balance within oneself so that we can think clearly, so that we're not having emotional reactions to things. Making sure that we're with people that help us to stay in balance and not throw us off our rocker. Understanding. Again, trying to understand that everybody's at their own level of awareness, trying to have compassion. You know, be careful with our words, whether it's things that we say to others, things that we project, things that we say to ourselves about ourselves. Having an understanding, again, of ourselves, of psychology, of how it's used against us, about the world we live in. about the bigger picture, about the agendas at play, you know. Courage, having courage to do what we got to do. And lastly, celebration. Celebrate the opportunity that you may have to come together with certain people, right? Or maybe, you know, the celebration will come after the project is finished, or finding just, again, a reason every day to celebrate something, whether it's the cup of coffee that you have, or the fact that you can sit for 10 minutes and have quiet. Some people, again, you always got to think of other people are going through maybe more difficult stuff. Contentment, again, that's about centering oneself, meditating, getting right in our heads. And anything from here for the collective for the next 2 weeks? Safety. In the hurricane of life, a strong foundation will keep you safe. Root chakra, again, we got the Emperor. Don't take no shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't take no shit. And calmness. Crown chakra, to calm your monkey mind. Don't feed the animal. This is what I was talking about here. The only way that you can get clear and centered is if you are decluttered of these dudes fighting in your head, or the hamster in the wheel, or whatever it is. That's where you find your centeredness, your grounding, your ideas, your creative ideas, your higher guidance, and the moments that you take to center yourself and quiet yourself and try to connect. All right? Anything else for the collective? Self-love. Heart chakra. You can only love others as much as you love yourself. Exactly. A lot of broken children walking around in adult bodies. A lot of them looking for mommy, daddy figures to take care of them or take care of things because that's how they've been conditioned. Again, giving their power over to others to come save the day or to make decisions for them or whatever it is, you know, and we're needing to, again, stand in our own self and caring about our own well-being, to not tolerate bullshit from anybody. Peace, crown chakra, in stillness, the answer will be revealed. Listening, if you want to be heard, learn to listen. Throat chakra, this is again about communication. You know, don't listen to respond. Listen to understand, right? Because everybody's seeing life through their own lens. Everybody's on their own path. Everybody's had their own experiences. But even though those things may differ in all kinds of ways, as far as humanity as a whole, we are more alike than we are different, especially in regards to who or what has been ruling over or makes the decisions. Again, your enemy isn't the common man. So hear each other out and not be so against one another, because again, that only helps the other side. Connection. Father Divine and Mother Earth, make love in your hearts. Again, with this card, always comes out. Always. Always. Heart chakra. And that's what it's about, connection. Whether it's, again, life partnerships, marriages, unions, your people, your tribe, humanity as a whole. It's about connection. And lastly, we'll do some songs for the collective and we're done. And hopefully you made it through. Hopefully you get something out of it. Hopefully you like the astrology things. What advice do you have for the collective for the next 2 weeks? What advice do you have for the collective for the next 2 weeks? Mountains by Prince. It's only mountains and the sea. Love will conquer if you just believe. That's a good song. Wake Up Everybody by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Yeah, wake up, everybody. It's time to teach a new way because this shit is for the birds. Every Kind of People by Robert Palmer. Indeed, it takes every kind, you know. Cherish the differences, embrace the similarities, and try to have compassion and understanding again for your fellow man because everybody struggles, everybody has a story. And again, you're stronger united than you are divided. And you need to understand that, you know. Anything else for the collective? Anything else for the collective? Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. You've Got a Friend by James Taylor. And Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd. Again, we don't need no education. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, I wish everybody luck. Wish myself luck. And for any people that are struggling in their mind about collaborations, associations, all these things, you know, let your heart be your guide, let your intuition be your guide, and let other people's how they're showing up be your guide. Because and that'll help you to know, who's got your back and who doesn't. And in this day and age, it's hard to tell because people play a role so well, but hopefully we live and learn and we are better at discerning again shit from Shinola. And until next time, don't forget. And of course, for yourself. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.